Welcome back to episode 6 now, the Every Other Saturday podcast.
Say it like you mean it!
Bit loud for the car, mate. Bit loud for the car.
Say it like you mean it.
But welcome back, 6th episode. Bit of a different one today. 3 years currently in the car, ready to record. Zach's on me today, he recorded the 11 worst Rangers players that we've seen. In our lifetime, because we're taking a bit of a step away from our usual format, because who really gives a fuck about international football? Sorry for that swearing, but
It's cuss friendly podcast, mate.
we'll need to say.
No, you can cuss, mate. Good.
So
We're starting away first format, Jack, and we've got Zach on with today.
So your 11 worst Rangers players. That's going to be a good one.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, I think we should start it.
We're going right into it
already.
already.
Let's go. Well, do you want to go right into it? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? How Scotland are shite?
I don't want to talk about Scotland.
Well, that's what I told you. So let's get right into it. Let's get no mincing about here. We don't mince about. So
Mince about? Aye.
I don't know, mate. Do you mince about? Do you mince with your grandstand?
Right, so if we're starting this so soon, I'll start off with my goalkeeper then.
Let's start with the keeper.
Right, my goalkeeper.
Whoa. Before we start, let's Zach just say a little hello if he wants to.
What's happening? Welcome to the podcast.
You Zach, aye?
That's happening. That's happening, Trips. I'm doing this one with a bit of improv. I've not got 11 at the ready, but for the fucking Shire that we have displayed there the past 10 years, it's not going to be hard to
I
get
agree.
a couple of names rolling after the tongue.
I agree with that. So let's put us on stride with our goalkeeper then.
100%.
I don't think it will come as any
I
surprise.
forgot who it was. That's fucking shocking.
I don't think it will come as any surprise. My goalkeeper is Steve Simonson.
Exact same, mate, to be honest with you.
Like,
One of the worst keepers I've ever seen.
he's one of them you want to forget about, but he always lingers in your mind.
Oh, there's a couple of them in this team that will linger in your fucking mind, to be honest.
Was it 2-0 Old Firm as well?
Old Firm.
Was it Commons that scored that goal?
Aye.
I think it was, and he's saving it, but he's right arm. He didn't save it, obviously, it went on.
Awful.
he's
Literally
terrific.
awful goalkeeper. He came for a decent enough
He's got a CV, man.
decent enough CV and all, so at the time could have been alright, but what a absolute shite house he was.
No, he was definitely.
I've got nothing else to say for that guy.
No, I've got nothing else to say for that guy, mate.
Do you agree with that one?
No, I think I agree with it.
What's the formation?
Going to go
Well,
with 4-4-2.
He went for a 4-4-2, but I went for a classic Rangers manager 4-3-3.
It depends. I'm no.
Right, well, we can work out at the end.
We'll work it out, mate.
Do that, but Simonson, Zach,
I'm with you.
Simonson as well. So, right, he's in. He's in the 11.
Aye, so right back.
Right back. Another one.
I went Lee Hodgson, mate.
That was one I forgot about, by the way.
I'm obviously doing this with a wee bit of improv. I'm kind of refreshing my memory on Neil Google, and I've got a name here that's just sprung to mind. I forgot about how tragic he was.
Who's that?
A man by the name of Ricky Foster was.
And guess who I've got? I've got Ricky Foster.
You got Ricky Foster.
Ricky Foster was shite. Like his first stint on loan for Aberdeen, you could say he was alright, but then he comes back, second, third division. He's woeful. Another one up there could have been Aguirre or whatever.
I was thinking about this earlier on when we got to do this. I always remember you saying to me during school when we were 13, 14 when these cunts were kicking about, you saying to me, he's probably one of the alright players we've got in the team. That's how much.
Probably because I seen him made a fucking good pass at that time. It was hard to see. He was tragic and all, but Ricky Foster takes that for me. So
I mean, I went for Lee Hodgson because that guy was fucking awful, and I don't know how he ever.
Currently playing his football at Hamilton.
Where he belongs.
He's played with fucking every Scottish team there is, man.
I mean, there was calls for him to come on and over Tav. You know, because Tav can't defend. No, but way back, and then Tav get moved sort of into midfield and that, and then Lee Hodgson's calls for it right back.
Smith, a left back. Stevie Smith wasn't the
Stevie
worst
Smith
player
at left back. He was a left back.
Aye,
he could have a free kick, but injury prone as fuck all the time. But Ricky Foster we agreeing on.
It's got to be 2-1, mate. So I'll give
Fair
you.
play. And then we'll
we've all got to have Rob Kiernan in there.
I mean, we're going to have
centre back position. Rob Kiernan
fucking in there.
Senderos is in there for me. He was fucking shocking, man.
Rob Kiernan was tragic as well.
We're just going to list off our absolute tragic centre backs now because
I
we've
think
had
we
a fair few. So I've went with Emilson Krabari for my first centre back. Just for his CV and all, man, he played over 100 games for Lazio.
Was he have a fucking eye?
He played 100 games for Lazio.
He also got a CV with a profile picture. Do you know
Aye.
Said man.
And then he comes to Rangers and he literally can't do it against folk that are plumbers.
Aye.
It's just a weird one. And then he finished his career after Rangers, and I think that was the best thing for him. Tragic. Who have you went with, Lewis?
I've put Senderos and Rob Kiernan in there, mate. I'm sorry.
Senderos and Rob Kiernan.
Sam way Senderos.
He was fucking shocking. That
He's
big
got to
dildo had no idea how to defend.
I swear he played. It's another one.
No, Moshny's got to be in there.
No, I've got him in there as well.
It's tragic. He fucking was playing up front. He was doing a better job.
Senderos and Rob Kiernan. Well, Senderos and another guy with a good CV. Did he not play with Juventus? I know.
Senderos played with AC Milan.
AC Milan it was, sorry, Arsenal.
Top teams, mate, they can't come here and defend, mate.
He got sent off in his first game at Old Firm game, we get fucking pumped, right? And I think he played 1 or 2 games after that, and that was him, but he was shocking.
No,
he was brung in for a player and all to sort of shoot up a defensive line. I don't know why you'd buy Senderos to do that, right? But that's Mark Warburton.
Why teams kept buying him? He's been rubbish everywhere he's been, know what I mean?
And then your centre back?
I'm with Senderos and either or. I'm happy with the kind of.
I mean, I couldn't hang me alive.
Well, my other one,
I mean, he gave you good memories with Jabin, Lear, and the face.
Aye, that's something we'll always remember.
He was shite.
I've got freedom in there anyway, lads. So.
See, I've went a similar route. I was trying to think of left backs.
I couldn't think of any, man. So
really, we've been blessed at Rangers with left backs. Sasa Papac, Lee Wallace, now Borna Barisic. In between, there's not really been that many.
Oh, I've got a few for centre backs. I've just seen it here. Marius Saliakas.
Well, the other one I've got.
Is it Lithuanian, the god?
The other one I've got is Sebastian Fauri and all. There's so many. That's why it was great to do an episode like this, because there's literally so many talking points. Everybody's going to have a different team.
And it's the same with the midfield as well.
See that tweet? That's HMRC. Can I sue them for ruining my childhood?
Aye.
It's the same in the midfield as well. There's so many players you could choose for.
Aye, exactly. So there's plenty of centre backs. I even forgot about Gasparotto. I forgot he was a hangman.
Went to Airdrie, did they not?
Aye, he went to Airdrie, I'm sure. Aye. There was calls for him like, oh, he's the next upcoming youngster and all that. Like,
I think we were
taking a break, man.
Straws, but in that period of time, man.
Like,
we're just hoping.
Like most of these,
Shane Ferguson was the next fucking.
Most of these is for that period of time though, because I mean that was dark days to be a Rangers fan, and obviously times like this where you go back and look on it, it's very prevalent to see.
Compared to what we've got now, man,
you're blessed to even think about that kind of thing. But you've got one for the Warburton era, and then all the rest for.
I'm sorry, but
for McCoy.
Some of the signings Warburton made were just.
You know, man, the game.
You just look, you're like, what was he thinking when he signed them?
Like, nah.
The season, me and you went to that game.
What game's
championship? That? There wasn't much bad defending. It's just sprung into my head because I'm sure Rob Kiernan and Danny Wilson was at back.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought, see, for Danny Wilson, wasn't the worst. I mean, he started off as a promising thing. I mean, he's probably closer to kind of worst centre backs we've had than the best centre backs we've had.
Aye.
But for the time, I didn't think he should have left when he left.
No,
for what we had in the centre back spot.
He was quite a weird one, aye.
Especially like America, at 26. But that game I'm on about, I think it was Alloa at home at Ibrox, and it was fucking freezing. It was snowing. He scored. Danny Wilson scored, and I'm sure Keelan was playing.
Do you know? I think I remember that because I think my dad had a bet on him.
Aye, I think you might be right actually. I could just remember I couldn't feel my fingers.
Aye. You gotta love that, Ibrox, watching Danny Wilson fucking.
Yeah, that thing he scored in that Motherwell game. That volley scored in that Motherwell game.
Aye, like he was rotten, but he got into a bit of form before he left.
Exactly.
That's why it was a weird one. But Danny Wilson, for a brief spell, I think, under Walter Smith, he was alright. But
no, I as well. To interrupt, I was not a fan of David Bates. I thought he was.
Doesn't he look like a football?
I mean, he wasn't one of the worst because on his day, not David Bates. On his day, was a good player. That's person I'm about to mention. But for when he came to us, he was a shambles. And I'm judging this under time at Rangers. Bruno Alves was disappointing.
No,
slow as a week in the fucking.
We're going to go on to the kind of signings.
Aye, that's something I'm looking at now.
I wouldn't fire him in the worst Rangers 11 in my lifetime, but he was disappointing for the
exactly.
Definitely. I mean, coming for that sort of CV.
European champion, what I mean.
many woeful centre backs, defenders, whatever. As I was saying, blessed with left backs. Papac, Barisic now, Lee Wallace. I can't honestly think for the life of me.
Even Declan Johnson,
He was alright. I can't actually think of a bad left back we've had.
No, we've been lucky with that.
John Flanagan was a bit of a.
I mean, you could have argued maybe.
Nah,
Exactly.
that's the only one that comes to my head. Is
He was out
John
of shape
Flanagan.
and all.
Nah,
He was out of fucking shape and all.
but you listed plenty of David Bates, Alves, Alves for the sort of stature that kind of
level
signing.
that we thought we were getting. A player that played with Cristiano at the international level, you were thinking, oh, we're getting a top.
Still a European champion when it came to
Exactly.
Exactly. It's just that he let everything done, and then
He free kick in that Hibs game.
he pulled out the old firm games with injuries and all that, and you're supposed to be a big fucking centre back.
You're supposed to be that roughing. Speaking of big signings, Jack, that was supposed to come up here and be something.
Oh, I've not even got to finish my defence yet.
Have you not? Well, you want to finish the defence before
Right,
I get
so-
into midfield?
If we're agreeing on the full defence, Simonson, Ricky
Aye.
Foster,
He's not a defence.
Senderos.
Aye.
I'd take Moshney before
I'd say
I've put Morsney in there,
I'd take Moshney too.
Moshney, but then it's a left back. It's a problem, innit?
but I've put all three of them. I've put.
You've got. I'm sorry to throw another name in here. Fabio Cardozo was fucking shite.
No,
Hang
He wasn't as bad as the rest that we've mentioned, but he was,
Hang it with Zach. I'd put Bruno Alves in. Just for the
no,
sheer
just
fact.
not on. It was the just on the reputation he came.
Aye.
That's what I'm on about.
Because we're
You know
expecting
what?
him to be a
Aye.
world beater. So I think that's a pretty shite defence. So
Aye.
I will move on to midfield then.
Midfield, I'm putting Joey Barton in there, mate.
Is this a 4-3-3 or 4-4-4? 4-4-4-2.
Well,
4-4-2,
my players are
4-4-2.
in a 4-4-2, but
I
we
put
can.
that 4-4-3 for
can work that
myself,
out.
but we'll work that out. I put Joey Barton in there just
I've
for
got Joey Barton as
I'd
well.
agree with you in terms of the
just the
Bruno Alves
reputation
situation,
and he
Do
won.
you know, I
Probably
don't-
rating and good wages as well.
Exactly.
I'd also say for him, like, he came up here like, with all the words like, oh, I'm
Aye,
better than
he
Scott
did the best
Brown, I'm going to take Rangers by
Exactly.
storm and all that, and he's better in the Scottish League. And then he didn't perform either.
And he came in and he disrupted locker rooms, it sounds.
Because I mean, if you watch all the open goal interviews and all that, all the players just say, "Oh, Joey Barton came in, he's like this big head, he's trying to come in and
Wind
disrupt
up
everything
lads.
that's
I've
going on."
got to throw. I don't think he should go in the 11 because when he played, he was good, but for the money we paid for him and for the problems, Carlos Peña's a shout. But
Peña's
when
a
he
shout,
played,
aye.
he was good. Like, he wasn't.
Aye, that's
good,
what
but
MD will
he
say
could
to you.
get goals. You know what I mean? Like for something the Rangers team lacks the row, they still struggle to get goals from midfield.
Aye, and he's,
100%,
Peña got
man,
goals. You know what I mean? He got forward,
I
but
think
he just
Disco
too many
maybe-
problems and for how much money for the time. That was the first big fee I'd say we'd
aye,
spent. But
3 million or something like
Aye, for a good while.
that. And he scored maybe 6 or 7 goals.
No for that many appearances. but
Aye,
for maybe
he's,
20
I can remember he
appearances,
scored a
22.
double up at St
St
Johnson.
Johnstone,
Aye, I can remember that one. But he was a weird one. Like, he would just sort of come in and out of the team and then
Too many
score.
problems.
Aye, he's obviously had pure drinking problems and whatever else going on.
smelling
So
like greases, Andy Hardy said.
he's in the same sort of bracket as Barton, Senderos.
Well, no, that's what I'm on
Alves.
about. These names that came to the
Just
club
for
that
the
were supposed
reputation,
to.
aye.
Exactly, you know what I mean? They were supposed to be these big signings, but they just completely and utterly flopped.
So your other midfielder,
Yeah, Ian Black, mate.
Oh, aye.
Ian Black also. I mean, you can't do a worst 11
Shite.
And
and
then
don't include Ian Black.
as I say, there's.
But it's, again, for that era, like you look at it, like
I wouldn't have in the worst team, but it was shite as well.
who was that?
Kyle Hutton.
Kyle
Hutton.
Hutton. Like
I was thinking.
you just laugh when you hear that name, don't you?
It's just a bit refreshing to see where we're now.
Aye. Because I mean, we were coming on here a couple of weeks and going, well, we've got a midfield meltdown because we've got Glenn Kamara and Ryan Jack and all that. Like,
See,
Well-
like some of the players that we actually had that looked promising at the time, I'm just seeing them now. Like say a man, you know, I was a fan of Gideon Zalalem.
Zalalem.
Just didn't have the physicality for
Aye, he was
Scottish
one that came up. I know he was.
like see your big Romanas and your who
Did
went
he
to
play though?
Motherwell. No, I don't even think he played. That's what I'm saying. But he was tipped off. You know what I mean? Jordan Thompson
Aye, but
gave me the reputation.
aye, that's all
United,
Warburton
man.
signings, isn't it?
Boy, for Arsenal and all.
Aye, so that's oh Toral.
Toronto.
Aye,
aye.
Toral.
Heinemann was a player rated.
Heinemann done alright, actually.
And then he went to Hibs.
I'm trying to think back. Nicky Law,
Crawford, or
Was
what's his name was?
Well, I wouldn't.
Robbie Crawford or
Bobby
something.
Crawford.
For
He's
the time, Nicky, I wouldn't say Nicky Law, but
No, he
No,
did score a fair
he
few
was-
goals and all that, I know.
he wasn't the best player in the world. But there was
At the
class,
time,
man,
he was-
100%.
Aye, he wasn't that good. So,
Are you going with the 3 in the middle or are you going with 2 in the middle?
We'll go with the 3 then.
We're
But
going with the three.
But I'll need to think of another midfielder now because I've got two.
No, but we'll
I've
get
got
Ian
another couple of
Black.
wingers. Ian Black, Joey Barton, I think are two
Who
dead
was the other
sets.
one? That's the thing in there as well, do we know?
Well, what's your third midfielder you've got in there?
I've not got a third midfielder, mate. I've got
No,
a,
we definitely named after somebody there,
got a
do we know?
striker in there, mate.
You've got a striker in midfield.
But mate, there's so I can't. Right, look, listen, we've had so many at the time period, as you said, right, that we're doing this way, right.
Mm-hmm.
There's been, to me,
Alan Gow's a shoot.
I don't know, mate. There's been so many players that shouldn't have played
This
for
is
the
a-
club,
Aye.
but were their temper. You know what I mean, for what they were.
I agree
This
with
is a
that.
player I was... See, to be honest, he's not, because this was still when we were up in the top flight and it was at the end of it. I thought he was fucking shite, but see when this cunt played with us, he played in all, he got games, and I always just remember seeing that red top we had with the white fucking and blue stripe.
Aye.
Juan Martin Ortiz was pants.
Juan Martin Ortiz was shit, you know.
And then, like, see, we're moving into wingers here, right, but like...
Oh,
Mervyn-
another one, Celine Kierkegaard.
And Mervyn Selick, fucking signing a player called Selick.
Selick, you know.
They were pants. I actually don't think I can remember singing, but seeing
Singing?
them play. But like, how did the fucking Salim Kierkegaard get a tune about him? And I actually
Salim,
can't remember. No, it
Salim.
was the fucking Heartbeat tune, was it that?
No, I can only mind that one. Celine
Oh,
Kierkegaard.
fact, who is it?
Like, I know.
Heartbeat. There's some player had the tune.
Heartbeat?
Heartbeat, the mad fucking mad TV
But
program.
the TV, no.
Oh, heart.
Aye. Some cunt had the fucking the tune to that. But
Nah, honestly, I don't know. But
who's Matt Mackay? Was he Australian?
Matt Mackay was shite and all.
I'm
He
seeing
played
his
40
names.
games or something like that.
Andy Murdoch. He was
See, this is what I'm on about. See, this time period that we're talking about and all this. This is where like Andy Halliday would have been like,
Aye.
superb, you know what I mean?
He was for winning.
I know he was. I was not saying
Jason
Andy
Holt,
Halliday's in this
Jason
team,
Holt.
but
Me, Jason Holt.
Jason Holt played well. I mean, RIP in that, but he wasn't the greatest player, was he?
Arnold Peralta.
Aye, but, like,
no.
I know exactly what you're looking for at that time. I can't.
Kranjgaard was disappointing.
Kranjgaard's.
Riddled with injuries, you know what I mean?
He's
I
one.
was thinking about him as well.
He's
but-
got all the talent in the world, I know.
Jamie Rossiter. Like, he was fucking...
I mean,
only because he was showing glimpses when he played and he get fucking...
And that's another one that comes down here.
He's
with
on my
the-
bench, to be honest.
He comes down here with the label of Liverpool fans, like he's an
Pena,
ex-Gerrard and all
Pena.
that.
Penya's the third one. He's got to
He's
go
got
and he's
to be,
fucking
man.
for the price.
He's got to.
Think so?
He's on my bench, but I would definitely
Carlos
put,
Pena.
I'd put him in.
I've just seen her name. I forgot about it.
Who's that?
No,
Go on, cheer.
No, it's not in the
No,
midfield.
come on,
It's not in the midfield.
Not in the midfield.
It's one with
So we're going Barton, Black, and Carlos Pena.
If you want to read the one I've got, I've just got my glasses on. Just down there.
So Lewis Denton
James Beattie.
thinks James Beattie's a midfielder.
I don't think he's a midfielder, but I put him in the midfield anyway because there's so many bad players, mate.
David Feely's left back.
To be fair, like squeezing James Beattie in there's not the worst thing ever because he was ranked rotten and all.
Aye,
We
no.
paid 1.5 million for him.
He was
I think.
good up in
In England or not?
No, what was fucking England is?
Aye, he's another one. Just like all the goals and all that in England and all that, and he just can't cut
Exactly.
the mustard. up
Can't
here.
cut the mustard like a lot of them. Like Joey Barton, the rest of them that can't cut the mustard up here, mate. Yeah, so we're going on to forward.
Forwards, aye. Let's go for it.
Dalsio. That cunt was fucking pants.
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 Dalsio.
Right, so we'll start on
He's got to
your
be in.
left-hand side.
My left,
Mm-hmm.
I put Harry Forrester.
You're
No,
joking.
I-
Harry Forrester,
no,
really?
Disagree there,
Um,
man.
I don't know, mate.
He
I thought
put the
was
shifts
dog,
in
man.
when needed, man.
See-
That Dundee goal, 18
Aye.
seconds on it, Ibrox, man.
You look at the Dundee goal, right? You look at the first game of the season when we were back up. He assists the goal.
He should have squared it to do it.
It's just that better players ended up coming in, but he was alright. He was
I
alright.
didn't have Forrester, and Forrester was
Just look like
he
a prick
showed-
to me, I'm sorry, alright? He just looked like a belly.
I mean, he showed glimpses with us. I mean, what is he playing with, Tractor or something?
Aye,
Or
Tractor.
Arana or
well,
something.
that tells you the level, I'm sorry.
No,
that
I
tells
know, I
you the
agree with
level.
you, but when he was here,
He was alright.
Well, no, well, I fit.
You see when we were playing that Scottish Cup final in the Celtic game and that, he got injured and he was probably one of our most vital players at that
I
time.
know, that's why I'm winding you up. But
You're winding us up.
I know, I've not actually got him in there about that boy for Rome.
Oh,
What's
Who's
his
that?
name?
Oh, Sadiq.
he was
Aye.
aye,
But he was fucking.
he was right. You know
Who
when
the
he's a
fuck-
striker, but
Aye, he's
Aye,
he's
you know,
linked
but
to
there's-
fucking
Man
Man
United.
United and all that now, aye.
Yeah, he's done alright. I think it's Partizan Belgrade or something.
Aye,
His
it's
son
European
probably wrote the
football,
rumours,
football.
let's be honest.
But aye, Dalsio has to be the left winger for me. There's no one else that comes close to that.
Man that almost got Christmas #1. one, as I said, Jack.
Joey Gardner. I mean,
I wouldn't even say
I wouldn't even say he was bad just because of all that part that came with that.
No, he scored in the
Did make the tackles and everything.
He was clumsy.
He was.
Mate, I've watched him.
He's just out for a fight.
No, that's what I'm on about. Even when he plays down at Wigan and he plays for now. Even when I've watched him play against the Leeds, man, like he's just a dirty bastard. He doesn't go to score, like he just goes to cause a fight. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I can agree with that to a certain extent, but I don't think he was like up there with the worst because I think there's some worse ones.
Oh no, there is. No,
with the left side, Dalcio, he was like he's still one of the most mean Rangers players ever.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, for his second stint, Chris Boyd was tragic as well. I'm not taking his first stint, obviously, because it's...
So we'll move on to the striker in a minute because there's a lot of ideas popping about here.
No, there is.
I'll go to the right hand side, and I'll take your verdict on that. I've got somebody who you might have forgot about.
Me?
I've got Jerome Rotten.
Oh, that was long. Well, that was like 15 years ago, was it not?
No,
Carlin,
even.
That was Carlin.
Aye, that was I think 2009 we signed him.
See, I was young, man. I'm struggling to understand football. For going there, Aaron Niguez as well, man.
I remember him off FIFA 08, and I can remember when he got put into the Rangers team. I'm like, oh, we've got this mad fucking French cunt now and all that. Like, this is banging. And then I mind watching him. I think at Pataudry, and I'm like, what is this guy? And I think he ended up getting his loan spell cut short, but that was a guy who was getting linked with PSG and
all these top teams,
and then he comes here on loan again. It's tragic.
But a lot.
So he's one to put in about your minds because he was shite, and I couldn't really think of many other right wingers on that.
I forgot I know it's a bit late now. I forgot the one guy that I wanted to have in that team. Kirk fucking Broadfoot.
Kirk
He is
Broadfoot.
the worst Rangers player I've ever seen in my life. He's got to get at centre back. How he was great in the European fucking Cup final.
Is he worse than what's there though?
I genuinely think he is honestly one of the worst players I've ever laid eyes on. He's so just clumsy. You could hit him a fucking slap.
And it's surprising me he still plays in this Premiership. Aye, he went.
I mean, this is what I'm on about.
Still playing the fucking.
That's what I'm on about. There's so many players you could actually sit here and go, oh, him, but like it's hard to narrow it down.
I know that's why I wanted to make it a combined 11.
I've got if we're talking wingers or whatever, like I've got a recent player that's just been at the club, and obviously he's Barisic is like one of the top Barisic and Katic's mates. Grezda.
Oh, aye. It's a good one, by the way.
If you want to put another, well, I mean, I know
money as well.
Exactly, that's what I'm on about. This is what I'm thinking as well. You know, with the price tag that some of these players are coming in, the
just for a club, the state we were in, for a team that realistically we're still no financially stable. Like we're working towards it, but when you look at that mob, they're hitting a good net profit. You know what I mean? But we can't be afford to be like say Kent, which is looking at a good bit of business. Like he's getting linked with Leeds and stuff for double the price we got him for. Morelos, fucking an 18 million profit, providing.
You look at Barisic and all that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are looking like good bits of business, but these fucking players were spunking fucking 3 million and all that.
I've got a question, Gerard, also for that one. Grezda was a good one to bring up. Cool. Like 2 million we spent on him, man. Like sort of unknown. I don't think he even played against us when he played with Osijek. It just seemed like an impulse kind of buy.
Exactly.
Go for him.
I guess we were talking there about for Tottenham as well. I know Jordan Jones hasn't had a chance.
Aye.
But
Barker
and Jones. See if we come back and do this in a couple of years. Barker and Jones.
They've got. I mean,
Ojo even.
Ojo as well.
Like that's recent.
He's just signed with Cardiff.
Who was playing along? And I'm not going to lie, I actually thought Ajaria was decent when he played. He wasn't physical, and you look at him, he's doing well.
Who was that boy that did?
Who played alongside him in the midfield? Ajaria and somebody else.
Jack, was it no?
No, somebody that's not here, is it no?
Ajaria.
Doherty.
No, it was Gerrard's first season. Arfield, was it no?
Maybe, I don't know. I was thinking it was somebody that's left, but I can't think off the top of my head.
Koulibaly, no?
He started off good. I mean, it was only a loan, so it wasn't really.
Ajaria, he's come on to play a decent game for Reading and all that. He's signed permanently with him now. So
remember that lad that did a skill? Like he was Spurs on loan. What was it? Remember he did like this? No, he was alright.
I always remember the Rafe game. Your Dyer didn't come. It was just me and you, and it was sunny. 5-0 Rafe at home. He fucking played a blinder, man.
He still didn't score a goal. Like, how is that?
He
played the best game of his life, you know.
I don't think he done that
But
Did you not go to that away game at Alloa?
I was there and all. Embarrassing is what it was put on the papers and all that. For him doing a skill move, embarrassing.
I was cooking dinner that game, by the way. Just
that's Scottish media for you, but it's funny at times that he wasn't necessarily bad. I think you put him in the same bracket.
No, I'm not saying
he was alright.
No, he wasn't bad, mate. But I'm just naming players and seeing what we're getting the actions here. But I think
so. For wingers, I'd put Gresdan.
Gresdan's got to be in, man. He was.
And then for the left side has to be Dalsio.
Dalsio.
And then we move on to the number 9.
I mean, I said
shouts on it.
There's so many shouts here.
I don't even know how to say this boy's name.
Mine, well, I had 2 in my first team. I've got Francisco Sandaza and Umar Sadiq. Sadiq played 2 games. He dived in the cup final.
That wasn't bad. That cup final still annoys me, man.
Bambi on ice is that's how you put it.
So for a winger as well, I'm going to throw in Billy King. Was shite.
Billy King.
Oh fucking.
King Billy
signed
his
signed him for his fucking name.
Exactly. That 100%.
Billy. I forgot he even played with his man.
No, I was. What about Michael O'Halloran? I don't know.
O'Halloran was good in flashes. He's literally had a bad pace, and that was it.
O'Halloran
he was Greg Wild 10 years later.
But see, even if I signed the championship and all, that was a decent fee, $500 or something. We signed him for at the time.
Played, did he?
Nah.
It's a bit like Jordan Jones in that, like, what is it?
They just bought him for his pace, pretty much. That's another man, actually. But can up with a lot of good fucking
was there
names here?
Somebody different, or was there no a Lithuanian, somebody, the striker?
Oh, Andrius Velichka.
I don't know if he was great. But
I think he was the understudy to Jelavic at the time, so there wasn't really much you could do. Obviously, nobody's taking Jelavic out of that team.
No,
and then he went on loan to Aberdeen, I think.
That sounds like somebody else.
Who?
It's just went out on loan to Aberdeen.
Ross McCrory. But he's also he's one I didn't really see much of him personally, but wasn't that
Shane
good.
Ferguson for winger as well.
Shane Ferguson.
But somebody for striker who wasn't one of the worst. It's just a brief throw in that he was in the rank squad. I would have liked to have seen him in a different squad. Like Harry Vukic, man. I'd like to have seen him in a squad that was.
No, it was actually.
Well, I mean, you look at him at the time. Like, we signed that infamous Newcastle 5 and all that. He's the only one that sort of plays.
Like Mbabu and all that, but.
I mean, we had Mbabu and he didn't even get a game. And he starts for Wolfsburg, you know that.
Like to be like Interman, I think.
I mean, he's come on to be a right good player. Like, Gail Bigramana was playing against Motherwell the other week for Guntolan, so.
Who? Is that Irish?
You can see how their careers have kind of went the other way.
Is it the Motherwell that won? Motherwell that scudded somebody, or was it Aberdeen that scudded
they both scudded. 6-1 and 5-1 or something. At least somebody's taking the coefficient up, unlike Celtic. But so I've also got an couple of honourable mentions there. Eduardo Herrera and Kevin Kyle for up front. And Dean Shields.
No, Dean Shields was alright.
He was alright, mate.
He wasn't great, but he wasn't
it's another one of them that was at the time.
For the names that are in it. Did you say Kevin Kyle?
Kevin Kyle, aye.
Do you know who I wouldn't mention or not is John Daly put a shift in, man. He scored goals when at times, wasn't he? Obviously, fucking.
I'd like to look back and see how many he got.
For the time, he was the only cunt fucking putting the ball in the net against fucking lowly.
John Daly, and like, you look at Sandaza, Daly, Kyle, and all that. They were like
Boyd's second stint has got to be there.
Like, even Chris Boyd, they were all strikers that started for teams in the top division, and they came down to.
Boyd went back to Kelly and started fucking
scoring
again.
I think even still at that level, it's just impressive they're playing with Rangers.
Just fucking ass.
And then
Kenny McDowell fucking.
That's what I'm on about, man. They could have just literally just signed fans.
That's the worst I've seen our club. Let's see after the administration, all that. The worst I've seen is when we get took over with McDowell and McCall. Mm-hmm. Oh my good God. Horrible.
McCall, again for another thing, just another honourable mention for certain countries before we pick a striker. Cammy Bell has to be the closest thing to shit. He wasn't the worst, but that fucking Motherwell thing will always be.
Oh, the punch. The punch.
Let's say it the thing.
You're going to make me have nightmares tonight now, man. That punch.
That was what.
Mate, you've just took me back to that time. That's a dark period, man. That was awful.
6-1 over 2 legs against Motherwell.
So following on for that episode, there was a bit of a technical difficulty. So I'm coming back to you a couple of days later after it was recorded with the Worst XI episode. Basically, we picked our full XI, so it was Steve Simonson, Ricky Foster, Bilal Moshney, Senderos, Broadfoot, Barton, Pena. Who's our midfielder? Ian Black, who could forget? Francisco Sandaza, Dalcio, Grezda. I'm sure that was our final 11, and as you can see, it's a pretty tragic 11. So just coming on a sort of round off the episode, so it's just not ending abruptly or that. And thank you for listening to it. It was a fun one to record. So thank you for the continued support to the podcast, and I'll see you after.